All right, Raiders Nation, buckle up because we need to talk about the chaos unfolding with our beloved Las Vegas Raiders. Yesterday's game against the Kansas City Chiefs was one for the history books, but not in a good way. I mean, it is truly astonishing how consistently baffling the decisions coming from this coaching staff have been. From the first whistle, it felt like every choice was designed to confuse fans and frustrate players. You watch the game, and you keep asking yourself, is this really happening? Are they serious right now? And the more you analyze it, the more you realize that the issues run much deeper than just a few bad plays on the field. This isn't just about underperforming athletes. It's about a coaching staff that seems completely disconnected from reality. Take the offense, for example. Ashton Gentry gets handed the ball 6 times all game, 1 carry in the first 12 plays, and suddenly the question is, why isn't he more involved? And that's a fair question, because if you're trying to establish a ground game and find a rhythm, there is no reason to limit your most dynamic player like that. Instead, what do we see? Geno Smith throwing pass after pass, while the running game barely exists. The first 2 drives alone make you scratch your head. 5 passes from Smith, 1 run from Gentry, and suddenly you're left wondering if the playbook even makes sense anymore. How do you justify a plan where your quarterback is throwing 16 times while your best running back barely touches the ball? It's mind-boggling. And when the coaching staff explains it, the excuses are almost comical. The game got out of hand. We couldn't get it going. But the first drives? That was the plan from the start. And that's where the frustration builds, because you're left staring at a team that looks lost, not just on the scoreboard, but in terms of identity. Then there's the rookie situation. 11 draft picks, yet rookies see a total of 88 snaps combined, most of them concentrated among just 3 players: Gentry, Dante Thornton Jr., and Jack Bess. Darian Porter gets 12 snaps, while Tonka Hemingway and J.J. Pega, fully healthy, sit on the bench. If the goal is to rebuild and develop young talent, why are we not giving these players meaningful reps? Every week, the same pattern repeats. Veterans are prioritized, even when performance is questionable, and young players are left to twiddle their thumbs. It's not only frustrating, it's actively damaging the future of the team. If you're serious about growing this roster, you give your draft picks a chance to fail, learn, and improve. That's how you build a team capable of competing at the highest level. Instead, we are stuck in a loop of playing it safe, favoring the familiar, and ignoring the obvious solutions staring us in the face. And then we have the quarterback dilemma. Pete Carroll continues to insist Kyle Blue Kelly is the guy, despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Every single week, opponents pick him apart, and yet he remains the starter, while Darian Porter, a rookie with undeniable athletic upside, watches from the sidelines. It's hard to understand the logic behind this. If you're truly trying to develop talent and establish a long-term plan, you bench the players struggling week after week and give the promising rookie a shot. Yet here we are, watching the same mistakes over and over, and fans are left wondering if the coaching staff is even capable of making rational decisions. The decision-making process seems increasingly disconnected from reality, almost like someone is playing a different game in their own head while the rest of the team scrambles to keep up. The benching of Jackson Powers-Johnson is another glaring example of inconsistency and favoritism. Only JPJ gets pulled, while others who perform just as poorly remain on the field. This isn't about performance. It's about perception, politics, and who the coaches like versus who they don't. It's demoralizing for players, it's confusing for fans, and it signals a fractured culture within the locker room. When your own team starts to doubt that everyone is treated fairly, how do you expect commitment, trust, and cohesion to thrive? It's a dangerous path, and it's one that can derail a season faster than a single bad play. The favoritism extends to the quarterbacks as well. Geno Smith is defended repeatedly, while JPJ is singled out and punished. It's a double standard that doesn't just make the coaches look bad, it undermines the entire team's confidence. The bigger picture here is staggering. The Raiders are failing in nearly every facet of the game: offense, defense, coaching decisions, and roster development. It's a systemic problem, and while players are doing what they can with the tools given to them, It's clear that the leadership at the top is steering the ship into rough waters. Every questionable call, every overlooked rookie, every defended underperformer is a reminder that the team's trajectory is influenced as much by poor management as by the on-field performance. You can feel the frustration not just in the stands, but in the players themselves, and how they react to the game plan and how they engage with each other. The cracks are visible, and they grow every week. So when you watch a game like the one against Kansas City, it's impossible to ignore the bigger story. A coaching staff that seems incapable of adapting, incapable of prioritizing talent effectively, and incapable of creating a sense of fairness and accountability. Fans are left shouting at their screens, players are left questioning their roles, and the team continues to stumble forward. It's almost surreal how consistently these mistakes occur, and yet it feels like nobody in the leadership structure is truly concerned about the long-term consequences. The chaos isn't temporary. It's embedded in the very approach the Raiders are taking to the game, and until that changes, the cycle of frustration is only going to continue. Now, let's keep it real for a second, because if you thought the first half of this story was wild, it only gets worse from here. When you look at the Raiders right now, you can almost feel the tension building behind closed doors. The locker room isn't just frustrated, it's boiling over. You can see it in the body language on the sidelines, in the lack of energy after plays, and in the quiet arguments happening off camera. And you know what? It all goes back to trust. Players don't trust this coaching staff anymore. They don't trust that performance will be rewarded or that accountability means the same thing for everyone. Pete Carroll and his crew keep saying they're all about competition and commitment to excellence. But what's the point of saying those words if your actions prove the exact opposite? The moment Jackson Powers-Johnson was benched while others who played just as poorly stayed in the game, that trust started to crumble. Think about how demoralizing that must feel for a rookie trying to earn his place. You do everything right in practice, you keep your head down, and then the moment something goes wrong, you're the first one punished while veterans get to keep their spots. It's favoritism at its worst. Players talk, and word spreads fast. When guys in the locker room start whispering that the coaches only back their guys, that's when the culture starts to fall apart. It becomes us versus them, players versus coaches, and once that line is crossed, it's nearly impossible to repair. And here's the crazy part. Pete Carroll keeps defending Geno Smith like nothing is wrong. It's like every time he steps up to the microphone, he's living in an alternate universe. Geno struggles, the offense stalls, and somehow the blame shifts anywhere but toward the quarterback. We've heard the same post-game line 100 times. We didn't get enough plays going, or we didn't have the rhythm. But how do you expect rhythm when the play calling is completely backwards? How do you build chemistry when you abandon the run game before it even starts? The more Pete defends Geno, the more it sounds like he's protecting his pride instead of fixing the problem. And that's what's driving Raider Nation insane. It's not just about losing games, it's about watching the same mistakes repeated every single week with zero accountability. Meanwhile, the defense is being left out to dry. They spend most of the game on the field, chasing after short fields, because the offense can't stay alive for more than a few drives. You got corners like Kai Blue Kelly getting torched repeatedly, and yet no adjustments are made. The film doesn't lie. Quarterbacks are having career days against this secondary, and every single team knows exactly where to attack. How many times do we have to see the same blown coverage, the same missed tackle, the same confusion in the backfield before someone decides enough is enough? It's almost as if the Raiders are content with mediocrity, content with making excuses instead of changes. You can feel the fans' exhaustion, too. Raiders fans are some of the most loyal, die-hard supporters in the world, but even loyalty has limits. Every week, they show up hoping to see signs of life, only to get hit with another round of bad game management and uninspired football. People are starting to question everything, not just the coaching staff, but the entire direction of the franchise. And honestly, who can blame them? When the same errors repeat over and over, when rookies are wasted on the bench, when the quarterback continues to get free passes while others are publicly shamed, it starts to feel like the team isn't being led, it's being mismanaged. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Leadership defines everything. You can have talent, You can have passion, you can even have a few wins sprinkled in here and there, but if the leadership is flawed, the ceiling is low. What makes this situation even sadder is that you can see the potential. The young talent on this roster is real. You have players with drive, energy, and hunger to prove themselves. But how can they grow when they're stuck in a system that doesn't reward development or creativity? Every time the coaching staff refuses to give a rookie meaningful minutes, they're not just wasting a player. They're wasting a chance to build something sustainable. And let's not forget, football is emotional. These players are human beings, not chess pieces. When you constantly defend some guys and throw others under the bus, it's only a matter of time before resentment takes over. You can't build unity on hypocrisy. You can't preach team first when every decision screams favoritism. That's why the frustration inside the locker room is spreading, and it's only a matter of time before it explodes publicly. Once that happens, it won't just be about losing games. It'll be about losing control. Watching Pete Carroll at those press conferences, doubling down on questionable choices, makes you wonder if he even sees what everyone else sees. There's a fine line between confidence and delusion, and right now, it feels like the Raiders are crossing that line. You can respect experience, but experience doesn't excuse stubbornness. The best coaches adapt, evolve, and listen to their players. Right now, this staff looks stuck in their ways, determined to prove they're right even when the evidence screams otherwise. And that's the painful truth for Raider Nation, the fans, the players, everyone watching this unfold. The Raiders aren't just losing on the scoreboard. They're losing their identity. The commitment to excellence that once defined this franchise feels like an empty slogan. It's hard to talk about competing for greatness when the fundamentals of leadership, trust, and accountability are missing. Every decision, every press conference, every lopsided game only reinforces the idea that something deeper is broken. Until someone in this organization decides to confront that truth, not hide from it, not make excuses, we're going to keep seeing the same frustrating cycle. The same misplaced loyalty, the same predictable mistakes, the same disbelief from fans wondering when things will finally change. The Raiders can still turn it around, but it won't happen through words or half measures. It'll take humility, honesty, and the courage to face what everyone else already knows. This coaching approach isn't working, and the longer they ignore it, the louder that truth will echo across Raider Nation. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The NFL world is buzzing tonight with what could be the most shocking offseason move in recent memory. Justin Jefferson, one of the league's brightest stars, is reportedly set to join the Las Vegas Raiders in a blockbuster deal that insiders describe as monumental. Sources close to the situation hint at a contract worth astronomical figures, though exact numbers remain under wraps. The move, if finalized, would instantly reshape the Raiders' offense and send shockwaves across the NFC North and AFC West alike. Jefferson, who has dazzled fans with his explosive route running, lightning speed, and unmatched hands, has been the subject of trade whispers for weeks. While the Minnesota Vikings have long relied on him as their offensive centerpiece, rumors suggest that contract negotiations reached an impasse, opening the door for the Raiders to swoop in. Las Vegas, always aggressive in the free agent market, reportedly offered a deal that was impossible to refuse, combining both financial muscle and a promise of a championship-contending environment. The timing of the news could not be more sensational. The Raiders are in desperate need of a true, game-changing wide receiver to pair with their talented quarterback and revitalize a fan base hungry for playoff glory. Jefferson's arrival could instantly make Las Vegas a contender in the AFC, and analysts are already speculating about the potential on-field fireworks. Imagine Jefferson stretching defenses alongside the Raiders' current core, a nightmare matchup for any secondary. Of course, skepticism remains. While multiple sources whisper about the imminent signing, no official announcement has been made. Social media has erupted with speculation, with fans dissecting every photo, cryptic tweet, and insider hint. Some pundits caution that Nothing is done until the ink is dry. But the excitement is palpable. If Jefferson truly lands in Las Vegas, the ripple effects will be felt across the league, affecting draft strategies, team matchups, and even the balance of power in two conferences. For now, the NFL community waits with bated breath. One thing is certain. The potential pairing of Justin Jefferson and the Raiders is the kind of story that fuels off-season fever dreams. Whether it becomes reality or remains a tantalizing rumor, the buzz alone has already made the NFL offseason feel electric. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.